Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to historic Mount Vernon virtually. My name is Don Francisco. I'm the resident fifer here, and I'm also a history interpreter. So maybe you're not used to seeing me in this uniform. I'm very excited to be able to share some really nice information with you. Before I go any further, I want to thank our awesome social media team, Sarah and Ada, who are on the other side of this. Can't do it without them. Uh, so today is going to be more of a lecture than performance. I'll play maybe a tune or two, but I just want to share some information that has really helped me to appreciate the music more. And of course, I have a little PowerPoint slideshow we're going to go through. So you may want to formulate some questions as we're doing that, and I'll take some questions at the end. But just for fun to show you how much I love my fife, and got me a nice little tweet tweet. How you like that? A little Spirit of 76 to match my little iPhone cover. And I think it's fifer friendly. All right. So let's get back to business here. All right. So intro. I'm used to just doing things spontaneous, but this I actually prepared, and I have a set program I would like to do for you. First, I want to thank my awesome colleagues at Mount Vernon. Also, I work with some amazing historians, colleagues from around the country, around the world, very diverse group. I'll start off by thanking my manager, Kathleen Ford, my director, Jeremy Ray, our vice president of education and guest services, Allison Wiggins, and our amazing, awesome president and CEO, Dr. Doug Bradburn. Thank you all for your support, your leadership, for setting me up for success as we entertain millions of guests. We've been a little low lately, but as we entertain many guests from around the country and around the world. Alrighty. Let's start off with some basics. I'm going to ask Sarah if she could pull up the slideshow, please. Thanks so much. I'm sure many of you all are familiar with this iconic, very famous painting, Archibald Willard's The Spirit of 76, that has been used multiple times. You've seen it in commercials. You've seen different little plays on it, variations of it. I have a different variation for you to look at. Next slide, please, Sarah. This one, I was going through some nice little fife and drum collections, and this one really caught my attention. And I brought this up because we're going to be talking about 3 African-American fifers that were in the Revolutionary War. And I hope you find it very interesting. And I love sharing and learning information. So please feel free to share some information with me. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite things, the question and answer, it helps me to remember and refresh my knowledge, but it also shows me how much more I need to learn and gives me more things to research. So I thank you in advance for your questions. And one more take on this little Spirit of 76, please, Sarah. How about Norman Rockwell, the Boy Scouts? All right. So yeah, this is near and dear to my heart. Okay, my little sheet. Let's talk about some basics of fifing and drumming. I realize we may have some people here that are watching for the very first time, and I don't want to take it for granted. And I know we also have some great veterans of fife and drum corps here, and I want to recognize my brothers and sisters of the fife and drum community, especially my alumni unit, the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, 3rd United States Infantry Regiment. Thank you for the time we served together. I have such great respect and admiration for you all. So as I'm walking around Mount Vernon playing my fife, a lot of people will call it a flute or piccolo. Yes, the fife is a flute, it's in the flute family, but one of my pet peeves, I like to be recognized as a fife because it brings a certain time, era, a certain feel to it. So I've listed some different instruments here for you to see. We'll start at the bottom with the modern flute, and then we have the concert flute. Then we have a nice rosewood 1-key German flute, then the fife. Now there are different type fifes. You have the basic 6-hole fife, but then I have one olive wood fife here from a dear friend, Skip Healy, that's very modern. It's a 10-hole fife actually, as opposed to 6 holes, so 2 pinkies and 2 thumbs, alrighty. And then we have the recorder, hot cross buns, a lot of young students know that. Then we have a simple system, little piccolo. Then we have the modern piccolo, and then we have a penny whistle. So you see how they're related. The flute family is very large. Uh, all flute players do not play fife. All fifers do not play flute. Some do both. All right. Next slide, please, Sarah. Now, I am not a drummer. I keep very basic beats. A good friend of mine that I served with in the military named Dave Loyal of Loyal Drums actually made some drums for me. I don't know if you're able to see them, but I have the one of Mount Vernon with the eagle painted by Brooks Shields. They put the drum together. And then I have one with General Washington's book plate on it, his crest. DC, Washington, D.C., actually, their flag is the three stars and the stripes there. But I like to mention fife and drum because we think of communication. Uh, as I'm talking to the young students, I relate to them the importance of getting the message through. I try to speak in their language. For example, signals need to be sent. So I'll let them know the fife and drum was like sending a text, tweet, or instant message. Drummers call, water call, wood call, church call. Uh, so many different drum, fife and drum tunes. Slow steps, quick steps. Matter of fact, I'll give you a little assignment. Just Google fife and drum calls, reservoir music, and you will be surprised how much you come up with. It's truly amazing. I'm still learning more tunes, learned a lot, still so much more to learn. Next slide, please, Sarah. All righty. So this has an interesting story behind it. Our first of the three African American fifers. When I was in the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, we had a mission where we were presenting colors at the State Department in Washington, D.C., and up on the 8th floor, I believe it was. I saw this painting and it just jumped out at me. It was actually pretty amazing. I can't find words to describe it. There wasn't really a description on it. And then later on, as I joined the team here at Mount Vernon, being able to do more research, I was able to locate Brasilia Lou. Just amazing story. Look at this, the Battle of Bunker Hill. He was also with Ethan Allen and his Green Mountain Boys, Fort Ticonderoga. What's neat is when I was in the military, the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, part of our announcements was that one of the first mentions of an American Fife and Drum Corps was at the Battle of Ticonderoga, Ethan Allen's Green Mountain Boys. And this fifer was there, Brasilia Lou. He was also in the 7 Years' War, known as the French and Indian War, had many children. There's some great information about him online. As a matter of fact, next slide, please, Sarah. This is an amazing book I was able to find about uh, him and other families in the Massachusetts, New England area. And I'm in touch with some folks in Massachusetts, and I'm actually trying to do a recording to honor Brasilia Lou. I've kind of adopted him as my great grandfather, musically speaking, historically speaking. He's an inspiration and encouragement to me to just think what he was going through at the Battle of Bunker Hill in the 7 Years' War and all. So this motivates me and encourages me to fight on. Next, please, Sarah. Okay, here's another one that's pretty amazing. So sometimes you find the history, sometimes the history finds you, and that's what I love about this job. When I was in the military, honestly, my focus was physical training, drilling ceremony, some additional duties. We had another research and development crew that was able to do that, but I was really focused on the performance and just those things. However, here at Mount Vernon, I'm so blessed and so grateful to be able to do research and focus on things like this. And I was giving my Music of the Revolution class, and I actually had some volunteers, and I had someone read this. And the young child read it, and it was really pretty neat for them to learn this about the Primus Slocum, the First Rhode Island Regiment. I'm sure you're familiar with that very historic group. If not, I have some books that I'd like to show you about them. Truly amazing. So yes, one of the best paid positions for a man of color, a drummer, a fifer, Primus Slocum, talking about his discharge that he carried around with him for years now. So I had asked the young child to read this, and then one of my friends, Dr. George Boudreau, said, "Oh, yes, I know that author." So the circles of history just connecting very beautifully. Next slide, please, Sarah. I'm sure some of you all may have seen this famous painting 1st Rhode Island Regiment, the integrated forces now, integrated revolutionary force. But I once again challenge you. We're just like scratching the surface here. This is abridged, but if you want some really neat things to look into, this is powerful. That 1st Rhode Island Regiment down in Yorktown and all, very amazing. One more, please, Sarah. Next slide. There's a really nice book. I love reading children's books. I'll be honest with you. Uh, they have some great detail. I'm very visual. I love the artwork. The Black Regiment of the American Revolution. Check them out. Very, very cool. Neat. All right, so we've got Basilia Lou, Primus Slocum, and now I want to talk about the third fifer. And you could pull that one up. This one was really neat. Matter of fact, one of my former supervisors, Linda Powell, was in Philadelphia at a convention, a conference, and she met two lovely ladies, Miss Elaine Buck. As a matter of fact, let me get their book out here for you. What a great book, If the Stones Could Talk. Miss Elaine Buck in Beverly Mills, if you're watching, I want to give you a shout out. So Linda Powell was talking to them, and they mentioned William Stives. I hadn't heard of William Stives. Shame on me, I should have heard of William Stives, because he was with General Washington. He wintered at Valley Forge with General Washington, part of the 3rd New Jersey Regiment. Pretty amazing story to think about that. And I have had the chance to go to fife at Valley Forge. So to think I was fifing where he fifed, that was pretty neat, pretty cool. So yeah, William Stives. And I was supposed to go to this cemetery in New Jersey. Unfortunately, with COVID-19 hitting, I wasn't able to. However, that will happen. It's just a matter of time, and I'm looking forward to meeting the lovely ladies, Miss Elaine Buck and Beverly Mills, who did this beautiful book, If the Stones Could Talk. I want to thank you for helping me to grow and add some more information to my little repertoire. Next, please, Sarah. Yeah, there's the book. You can Google it. You can check it out. Amazon. It's out there. I highly recommend it. What a great book. A lot of work. So fifing and drumming. I want to bring up this also. Back to my former career in the military. The Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps is attached to the infantry, the Old Guard. So we play this field music and all. And I want to recognize some other African Americans. I want to point out 3. And I get so excited when I'm sharing this. I'll try to slow down when I'm talking. How many of you all have heard of Peter Salem, Salem Poor, and Lemuel Haynes? I used to mix up the Salems, but these are some pretty amazing revolutionary heroes. Lemuel Haynes was a soldier. He later became a minister, a poet, an abolitionist. What a great story. He has been referred to as one of the forgotten founding fathers. But look up Peter Salem and Salem Poor. You'll find out some really great information. All right. Next slide, please, Sarah. All right. For the young ones out there, the parents who are watching, you're looking for some great books to give your children to read. Black Heroes of the American Revolution. And let's not forget the women, Phyllis Wheatley, who wrote a letter to George Washington. All right, so there's just some amazing stories in this book. I highly recommend it. Continually building my little library. Do we have any more, Sarah? There should be one more. The Black Failings. Really amazing book. What I like about this book, it covers from the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the Civil War, just some amazing things. The USCT, United States Colored Troops. And I got to give a shout out to the little drummer boy there. And that's pretty accurate, the young drummer boys. So the fife and drum, the music, the history, it's really a beautiful thing how it harmonizes and comes together. It's really helped me to grow as a musician and a historian. And working here at Mount Vernon is truly a blessing where I get to learn more and share music and information. There's also a modern fifer, African-American fifer, Otha Turner. You can remember that name, Otha, O-T-H-A Turner, from Mississippi. He has some amazing things out there. He also plays to the left as opposed to the right. It's not a reverse photo. That's how he plays. And he has such a sweet sound, very authentic, very just beautiful. All right, Sarah. Let's see if I have anything else on my list that I may have forgotten. Um, as I get super excited and all. We'll go to some question and answers right now, please. Mr. Lou's Life, a summarized version. I am still learning more about Mr. Lou. Hello, Petite Humane. I am still learning more about Mr. Lou. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get in touch with his family members in Massachusetts. Uh, yeah, I know he had many children, over a dozen children, and the family members still live in Massachusetts. And please feel free to contact me if you have any additional information. I'm sure you can find more in this nice book about him too. But there's just so much great information out there to learn. But thank you for your questions, Steve. All right, how did fifers and drummers learn their craft? A few different ways. Thank you, Niels. Some of it was passed down, tradition. There were some tutors, some teachers of the music. Williamsburg has a great program. I fight down there. I have some great friends at Williamsburg, Dr. John Moon, Dr. William White, Bill White. Uh, so yes, there's a fifer named John Greenwood that has some music online you can check out. So some of them started very early on, learning from the older ones, because once you were a certain age, you would get a musket, you would put down a fife. Fifers and drummers were really younger boys. So yeah, some would learn by ear, but some read also. So it was a combination. Thank you very much, Niels. Thank you for maintaining this history. What compelled you to start playing the fife and your love of history? What is your military history? Thank you. Thank you very much, Kimberly. What compelled me to play the fife? So I started playing flute in the sixth grade. Beautiful music teacher, Miss Peggy Vax in high school, Mr. Richard Harrison, formerly New Orleans Symphony. I wanted to play drum. I was told it was too loud. um, but when I saw the flute and I heard it, it just touched my heart. It was different. It was unique. So I joined the military right out of high school, St. Augustine High School in Orleans, Louisiana, 17 years old, and was in the 5th Infantry Division Band, and then the 8th Army Band, where I met my lovely wife, Grace Collin. And then I came back to Fort Polk, and I saw the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, and that would change my life. That would put me in a new direction. When I heard the sound of a fife, it just really it's really sweet, really cool. Time travel, like, for those who remember the flux capacitor, I felt like I was going back in time. And I'm more of a math person. I love math, but then the history started taking over. So that's what got me into it. I hope that answers your question. I could go on and on with that. That's a cup of tea, a cup of coffee question. Thank you so much. Of all the instruments you play, which one is your absolute favorite? Wow. Okay, thanks for asking. Let me put this book down and get some of the instruments I have. Show and tell. All righty, so hopefully I won't drop this. But this is my rack of fifes. I have a rosewood fife here. I have one from my late father-in-law. And to answer that question, which one is my favorite? Sometimes it depends on the song I'm playing. I'll give you an example. I have a rosewood fife and an olive wood fife. This is the olive wood. On this one. So it varies. And the other ones, and I have some fun ones just for fun. Are you able to see these? Yeah, that actually works. I've played a few times. Oh, this would have to be my favorite. I definitely want to play this one for you. Metal. This is a fife that has sand that when we re-sandcasted the house, uh, our preservation crew was kind enough to dip a fife in some paint and put some sand on it. So, and this is a drumstick fife, so that's got a neat little visual to it. All righty, but let me try this one for you as I put the fifes down. So I have a colleague from Ghana, Africa, named Emmanuel Gogo, and he brought this back from me for me. So yeah, it's thanks. That's a tough question. I love the modern flute also. How do you decide which flute or fife to play? And do you make the decision based on the tune or key? Yes, yes. Some keys are really good. For example, the friendly keys on fife are D, G, and A. E every now and then if you have a nice 10-hole fife. So yeah, sometime it'll be the key, it'll be the tune. It'll go have my penny whistle on me. Sometime I'll play a little jig on the penny whistle and all. Yeah, and if I have children there, I'll play a nice little marching song. So yeah, it does. And that's what I like about the music. So I don't want to just get stuck on one particular one. I want to be versatile. Next. Do you have any references of African Americans who served in the Continental Marines during the Revolutionary War? Not many. I'm glad you asked, Byron. Thanks. That's something I need to look into. I have some great friends, fellow historians, and I'm going to ask them that question. So thank you. You've given me some homework. I appreciate it. Where did you learn to play? Do you play the flute or the piccolo also? Yes, I do play the flute and piccolo. Those are my primary instruments. I learned to play in New Orleans, Louisiana, New Orleans, Amola, my beautiful Crescent City. So I'll do some gospel, jazz, classical, folk, Irish, patriotic, and some international songs. I mean, we get visitors from China. I'll play a song called Moliwa or Jasmine. From Japan, I'll play Sakura or Sukiyaki. Korea, I'll play Arirang. France, I'll do the anthem. So, yes, speaking a little the a few words from the different languages and hearing the songs in that language. We had someone from Brazil the other day. I got to play the girl from Ipanema for them. So yeah, the music is a language within a language, a bridge. Next, please. My husband and I just went to Gettysburg this past week, and I was wondering if the musicians also fought in battles. Oh, definitely. As a matter of fact, there's a very young drummer boy who received the Medal of Honor. Was he 11 or 12? Amazing story. Look it up. So much great information to try to retain. So yes, musicians, uh, the buglers, very, very important. Drummers, drum call. Some of the calls are different. As a matter of fact, there's the Rev War calls and the Civil War calls. I have a good friend named Yari Villanara. Hope I said his name right. He does taps for veterans, and he dresses up in Civil War gear. Gone to Fort McHenry. I played there. So yeah, they were very instrumental, no pun intended, sounding the calls. All right. Next, please. Alyssa, can you tell us about the alternate spirit of 76 featuring the black players? Do you know the artist? Where it appeared? Okay, it appeared on one of the books I have, Alyssa, and I'm still trying to find that. I was even looking for it this morning. I I'm trying to find the credits. So, Alyssa, can you message me? I'm Googleable, I'm Facebookable. I love to get you that information because I love getting the artist that credit. You may be able to find it. So thank you, Alyssa. I will get that back to you. Hey, it's Dan Shippey. How you doing, sir? Great man. All right. Matter of fact, I want to give a thank you and a shout out, Mr. Daniel Shippey, great historian. We were just together. He does a great General Washington. Gave me a beautiful book on John Green with a memoir. Very special. So I'm forever grateful. What has been your favorite opportunity to perform so far? What is your favorite song to perform? Ooh, okay. Wow. Are we talking military or Mount Vernon? I'll give you a few. Playing at the tomb of General Washington for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was very special. Uh, Playing for Prince Charles was very special. The Queen of England at the White House, the Pope, um, President Nelson Mandela of South Africa at the White House. I'm humbled, honored, blessed, just right place, right time. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. Uh, so just great. And also, even the people that you don't know, just playing for these beautiful children that will come up and give you a hug or that'll, well, we can't hug now, COVID-19, but these beautiful children that give you that $1 million look when you play a song for them. So from the top to the middle to all ages. My favorite song to perform, Amazing Grace. My wife's name is Grace, and also I'm a fifer of faith. I'm a man of prayer and faith. I pray when I play. So As far as historical songs, I like The Girl I Left Behind Me, British Grenadiers, The World Turned Upside Down, October 1917, 81. Wow, the list goes on. But thank you very much. I salute you, sir. Petite, all righty. Do the songs you learn mostly relate to the American Revolution, or do you play songs from other revolutions like the French? Also, yeah, most of the songs I play are from the Revolutionary War. I also play a couple of Civil War tunes. We'll have some reenactors come here incognito out of uniform, and we'll play some neat songs from different battles. So yeah, and I played the. Where's my when we get the French here? Because earlier this month, July 14th, Bastille Days, and we had some lovely guests from France. So we did that. We gave them a little salute. But yeah, mainly Revolutionary War, Civil War, and like I said, there's just so much music out there to learn. Just some great stuff online. Once you learn one tune, you get another tune, and I do some modern tunes. Just did a really nice tune called "Fights of Fury," written by Chris Lucier, a veteran of the Old Fife and Drum Corps, and a young man named Vincent Chianello. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, Vincent. It's on YouTube. It's on our Facebook page. It's a great tune. It's got some really neat interaction and some harmonies. Challenging, fun. Next, please. American Patriot. I salute you, Patriot. All right. When would the musicians play during battles? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, throughout the battle, the heat of the battle, sounding calls, ceasefire, advance, all these different calls. Make ready, take aim, fire, the drummer. So they would be in the midst of it. Would they be in the front? Yeah, yes, they would. They would be near the commander. They were the commander's voice. Okay, so once again, they're sending text, tweets, and instant messages. Okay, did they play the music to maintain morale? Yes, they also played to maintain morale. There were some fun little jigs and reels. And have you read David McCullough's book 1776 yet? My favorite page 35, second full paragraph. John Greenwood, the young fifer boy, would talk about 500 so fifers and drummers. They could march up to 20 miles a day, depending on the weather. So yeah, it was a combination. There was some strategy too, but yeah, providing some good morale. Just some nice, catchy tunes. So yeah, once again, go to YouTube and just type in fifes and drums, music of the revolution, and you'll hear medleys and different tunes. You may not know the names, but I guarantee you probably heard them on the radio, TV, in the background, and things like that. Next, please. All right, Mary Lawrence. The fifers in Revolutionary War times use homemade instruments, or were they purchased? Some of the fifes were passed down. There were some fife makers here. I have a very good friend in New Jersey. He has a fife museum, and it's really Steve Dillon, as a matter of fact. Just look up Steve Dillon, and he has specifics on some fife makers' names and all. So yeah, some were passed down, others were brought over, and that's a neat question. I'm still learning more about that one also. As a matter of fact, I went to the Museum of the American Revolution in Philadelphia pre-COVID, and there's a fife there that was played in the Revolutionary War. I have a fife that was played in the Civil War in my personal collection, but I'm on the lookout for a fife that was played in the Revolutionary War. So if you see one, let me know, please. Thanks. All right, Alicia, what was the role of the Black musicians during war? Well, the same role. The Primus Slocum in the first Rhode Island regiment, it was actually one of the safest places the book read. And they were to sound calls. They were to alert the soldiers. They were to provide signals. There's calls, drummer's call, songs that would be played early in the morning, reveille, camp duties. So it was back to communication and morale. Thank you, Alicia. Hope that answered your question. Hillary, Harold, where's your favorite place to play on Mount Vernon? Thank you. What a great question. What a difficult question, because I have a few. There's emotional places. There's a scenic place, playing on the East Lawn, looking over the Potomac River, playing The Water is Wide, or playing Shenandoah, knowing that upriver from the Potomac is going to merge with the Shenandoah River at Harper's Ferry. General Washington's tomb, paying respects to the Commander-in-Chief. And then there's the Slave Memorial. Just saying that, I get a little emotional. It's a cemetery and a memorial. Howard University designed that memorial with 3 steps: faith, hope, and love. And I met one of the architectural students that helped design it. There's also the 1929 slave marker there. I played there and I've shed some tears personally. I've seen Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native Americans there. I played Kumbaya. One group held hands. My high school alumni, St. Augustine High School, came there and circled around, joining arms. So yeah, that one's deep. I've also played some great rejoicing songs there. Brenda Parker, who plays Caroline Branham, a shout out to my awesome colleague. She's amazing. She just exudes brightness and joy. She will sing down there. She sings like an angel. And we played Amazing Grace and different songs together. So yeah, thank you for that question. That's kind of an emotional question, but I thank you because it can be emotional working here. I just once again want to give a shout out to my amazing colleagues and our guests. I have such beautiful people that come back and we have some great times together. I have been given a little 2-minute warning, so I need to start wrapping some things up here. A few more questions, and we're going to be going out here. Do you compare ship whistle tunes? The tunes compared to ship whistle tunes? A little different, I'm sorry. So there's a bosun's made whistle, and I actually have one of those. I don't think I have it with me. That's different. So that's different colors. You can check that out with the Navy. Alrighty. I want to thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've run out of time, and I just want to say how enjoyable this has been. And I'm going to close out now with a little tune that's got a little Scottish background, but we play it throughout at different ceremonies and at the end of the year. Alrighty, here you go. I want to thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen. I salute you. It's been an honor, privilege, and pleasure to share this information with you. Feel free, and I'll do my best to get back some answers back to your questions.
Don, before we go, yes. Can people see you at Mount Vernon?
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Yes, please come visit me at Mount Vernon. I enjoy meeting and greeting our guests. I'm walking around the grounds, and I'm in interpreter uniform right now. When I came to Mount Vernon, next month, August, makes my 7-year anniversary. I started as an interpreter. So being able to combine the history and the music together is a win-win. I'll be around the grounds. If I'm not giving a tour, I'll be by the tomb. So I'm around, please. Anything else, Sarah? Yes. All right. So I salute you all. I thank you. I know there's other information I'm going to wish I would have included, but I believe what was said was to be said. Thanks again. I really appreciate all your support and all your encouragement. Have a nice day. God bless you all. Peace. Live long and prosper. Fife.